Hi. So I have been reading spicy romance books for the past like 2-ish years, but one that I haven't read that I have heard about for years and years and years and years and years and have somehow not read at all is 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know any spoilers. I don't know what's gonna happen in this book. The only thing I know about is the red room. Is there a red room involved? I don't know. And that this was a Twilight fan fiction, which is iconic. But I am really excited to read this book because I'm interested to see how well this holds up against some of the other spicy books that I've read, you know, within the past 2 years. Because I remember when this was coming out, I was in like middle high school, that kind of area, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, that is such a dirty book. That is so dirty. I'm excited to see what I think. Will I love it? Will I hate it? I don't know. Will it change my life? Probably not, but we're gonna see. Oh, this book belongs to Carol Michelle, aka Ida. Please return. Well, Carol Michelle, you must have lost your copy at the library sale where I got this, because I got this at a library sale. That librarian knew what the fuck I was doing, okay? We're gonna read 50 Shades of Grey. Welcome to the vlog. Okay, so I'm only on the first page. Like the first paragraph, and it's already definitely giving me Twilight vibes. Damn my hair, it just won't behave. I roll my eyes in exasperation and gaze at the pale brown-haired girl with blue eyes too big for her face staring back at me and give up. Definitely Twilight. And I'm only in the first paragraph, but definitely Twilight vibes. Also like mid-2000s, I'm not like other girls bullshit. Right there. Okay, still on page 1. Is Anna a college student? Is she she has to be a college student. She's cramming for final exams, and she's going for an interview that her roommate was supposed to go to, but her roommate is sick, and now she's going to the interview in her roommate's place for the student newspaper. She's a college student? How did I not know this? So this is age gap. We've got some age gap. Mr. Gray is the CEO of Gray Enterprises Holdings Incorporated. So she's a college student? Oh, she's a college student. Okay. Okay. All right. We're going with it. It's amazing this woman has managed to live through childhood, because she is stumbling, scrambling, or tumbling or tripping her way across every fucking doorway. I swear. She scrambled, I stumbled, I tripped, I fell. I'm on chapter 2. But the funny thing is I have this book so hyped up in my head. Both people saying that it's like overrated and weird and cheesy and cliche, and also people, you know, when I was younger, loving it. So I have this idea of what this book is in my head. It's not what I had in my head, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm on chapter 2. Like I said, this Anastasia bitch, obviously, she cannot walk in a straight line, but Christian is really cool. I like him. I'm interested. I'm intrigued by Christian. He's kind of cocky, kind of an asshole, but I kind of really like him so far. So, we'll see. We shall see. You can see Wilbur in the background. He's my door stopper. Anyway, 98 pages into 50 Shades of Grey. So about 100 pages. We're about at the 100-page mark. So first of all, if I did not know that this was a Twilight fan fiction to begin with, it would have been glaringly obvious. There are a lot of similarities, a lot of things in there that are pretty much just taken straight from Twilight, which is interesting. We have a pushy friend named Jose who is in love with our main character, Anastasia. This is obviously supposed to be the Jacob character. I was Team Jacob in my Twilight phase, so I take personal offense to that. Christian and Anastasia also have a conversation about her parents that reminds me a lot of a conversation between Bella and Edward in the first book / first movie, you know what I'm saying? Christian can also practically read her mind. He knows kind of what she's thinking, and she's always like, can he read my mind? Like, can he read minds? Obviously, that's taken from Edward. Also, Anastasia is painfully, sorry, I have my notes down here. Anastasia is clumsy and plain, which is pretty much how Bella describes herself. And Christian also has that I'm not good enough for you, but I can't seem to stay away from you type of attitude that Edward had, and so the lion fell in love with the lamb, that kind of bullshit. That's what they have going on. I know I said in the previous clip that because I was just getting into it and I was like, oh my gosh, is this an age gap? It's not an age gap. It's not an age gap. Christian somehow is a 27-year-old billionaire. We haven't really gotten to that point because we haven't gotten to know him very well. I am at the point in the story where Christian has taken Anastasia to his home for the first time and she had to sign some paperwork, which is very presumptuous. Anastasia, I don't know who she is. We had a mention of a conversation between her and her stepdad. Her stepdad didn't give us any information because he is supposed to be like the Charlie character. He just kind of grumbled and bumbled and no information there. Had a conversation with her mom, no information given there. And the only thing that I can see that Anastasia has done, like personality-wise, is make her friend a bowl of soup. That is what she has done. She has made her friend a bowl of soup. She has gotten sloppy drunk. And I'm very confused what Christian sees in her because she seems to me to have the personality of a soggy cracker. Like not even a good cracker, like a Ritz cracker. Like a soggy Ritz cracker. That is Anastasia Steele. The only real personality traits that she has is she blushes a lot. She doesn't meet Christian's eyes and she falls all the time. She is constantly stumbling, bumbling, tripping everywhere. Everywhere she is falling. There's a lot of stumbling around that Anastasia is doing. It makes me feel like perhaps she is a rowdy toddler. A rowdy toddler with the personality of a wet napkin. I'm not getting the kind of draw to Anastasia because it feels like everyone's in love with Anastasia. Everyone's in love with Anastasia and she's just like, I'm so plain, I'm so boring. It's not good per se. Like I said, I don't know who Anastasia is. I don't understand her personality. I don't even think she has one. You could put anybody in Anastasia's shoes and you would have Anastasia because she's so bare bones. There's no information. Okay, my friends, we have some things to discuss. No Face is swinging from the rafters. Okay, we have some things to discuss. Because if Anastasia Steele bites her lip or blushes one more time, I believe that I will genuinely have an aneurysm. It's constant. She bites her lip and Christian's like, stop biting that lip. Okay. At this point, I am 236 pages into this, so almost halfway. I don't know. I genuinely don't. I mean, am I enjoying it? Not really. I feel like these characters are so overwhelmingly flat that you could replace them with anybody. There's no defining characteristics with either of them. They're just so bland. The romance in this book is very contractual, like quite literally, because he makes her sign a contract. It's very shallow. It's not very deep. It's just so strange. Christian Grey is a very problematic character, but there are some just strange things in this book. She says the walls and ceiling are a deep dark burgundy, giving a womb-like effect to the spacious room. Womb-like? What do you mean, womb-like? That's just a very weird description. Also, we have had a handful of sex scenes so far at the 236 page mark, and they're very, to use Christian Grey's term, they're very vanilla and kind of boring. Okay, so Anastasia was a virgin, apparently, which he had a whole big deal about, which is hilarious because they've known each other for like 0.5 seconds. How would he have known whether or not she was a virgin? He just assumed. Anyways, he had a whole big freak out about it. And now he is seeing her virginity as some sort of like claiming thing. So he's like, oh, this is mine. And, you know, I'm the only person who's ever slept with you. So you're mine. And I'm like, sometimes the you're mine shit just rubs me the whole wrong way. And this is one of those times. I just think Christian Grey is kind of gross. All of their interactions so far, because where I'm at in the story, Anastasia has not officially signed her
contract to be his submissive, and he's constantly like showing up different places and being like, oh well, I'm gonna show you why you need to sign that contract, please sign that contract, you know you want to sign that contract. And it's very manipulative, and again, it's just making me feel gross, because Anastasia is like this 21-year-old virgin, obviously, and he is being very, very manipulative, trying to get her to sign this contract that in her inner monologue, she literally says that she's not ready for. She doesn't really want that, you know? She doesn't want that kind of relationship, and she wants some sort of emotional connection with Christian that he has put his foot down. He is not going to provide her. And I'm like, this is cringy and gross. This is cringy and gross, okay? That's where I'm at. I'm not liking it. The kind of things that he set up for this dom sub relationship kind of rubbed me the wrong way as well. The way that it's represented in this book is kind of gross, and it's very controlling and very manipulative, and the way that he talks about it, because from what I've seen of the other books that I've read of BDSM, it's kind of like a mutually beneficial relationship. Each person in the relationship gets something out of it, and the submissive is always in control, you know? Well, in their relationship, Christian Grey is in control whether you want him to be or not. And if you don't like it, you don't get a slice of that pie. And I just don't like that type of dynamic. Shit is falling on my car. That scared the hoo-hoos out of me. The whole contract, because it was like 10 pages worth of contract. I was skimming. The whole time I was skimming. But from what I gleaned from my skim, everything is to Christian Grey's benefit. He wants her to work out so she can look nice. He wants her to keep shaven because he wants her shaven. He wants her to eat certain foods because he wants her to eat those foods so she doesn't, you know, look different. I don't know. He wants her to wear certain things. Everything is just to Christian Grey's benefit. And Anastasia even says this. She even says, hey, what is the benefit to this? And he's like, me? Excuse me? You're the benefit? He's a fucking asshole. He is a fucking asshole. He is so nasty, so controlling, and he gets pissed for no reason. She had a conversation with a random man, and he is like blowing fumes. I cannot compute. You talk to this man, and now I'm going to treat you like shit for the next 5 pages. What? This is not a romance. This is painful. But that's where we are. I'm on page 376. So I'm right here. I've got about 140 pages left. I originally wanted this vlog to be a kind of like experiment to see if this spicy book that everyone knows and loved in the 2010s holds up to the books that I read now. To see, you know, is it actually spicy, or is it just that this book found mainstream success? I didn't know jack shit about this book. I didn't have any spoilers. I hadn't read any reviews of it. All I knew was Christian Grey and the Red Room. BDSM, I knew that, but that's all I knew going into this. At the beginning of this, I was optimistic. Christian Grey seemed to be like a intriguing character to me. He was a little bit toxic, and I normally like a little bit of toxicity in my heroes. I had a couple of issues that I talked about in previous clips about how the characters were flat, and the characters are flat. They're very shallow characters. They're pretty much, you could replace them with anybody and they would still be Anastasia and Christian. There's no defining characteristics about any of these people. Who the hell are they? We don't know. But as this story has gone on, as we've had more scenes with these two, as we've seen their interactions, my problem with this book is less about flat characters and more about the fact that this book is inherently toxic and harmful. So let's get into that. The BDSM aspect in this book is a horrible portrayal. I am not personally a part of that community, but it was rubbing me the wrong way. So I looked up some articles written by people who are in the community about this book, and they were echoing the same feelings that I was having about this book. Christian and Anna's relationship in this story is not good. It's not healthy. It's not consensual. It's not good. It's categorized as BDSM, right, because of the bondage and this, that, and the other thing. But one of the main important things about BDSM is consent. Consent is a huge thing. Safe words are a huge thing, and None of that is represented in this book. We have a conversation at the beginning where Christian pretty much lays out the safe words, right? But they're never used. At least they haven't been used up to this point. He's not a dom, he is an abuser. He is a predator. He has preyed on Anastasia. Christian stalks Anastasia. He finds out where she's at. Anastasia, from what I've read so far, is behaving like a victim. She questions herself. She is constantly seeking his approval. The only reason she's doing the things that she's doing is because she doesn't want to make him upset, because he scares her when he's upset. He's also isolated her because he made her sign an NDA, so she can't talk to anyone about what's going on. And the one scene that really bothered me was the first kind of punishment that Christian doled out upon Anastasia. And it was before she signed anything agreeing to be a part of this world that he lives in, this kind of, you know, relationship. She hadn't signed the documents to agree to this yet. Anastasia was very clear that she was uncomfortable with this kind of punishment. She pretty much laid out the fact that she was uncomfortable with pain. She didn't want to explore the spanking, and Christian pretty much said, well, that's a part of my lifestyle, so you're gonna have to get over it. So he spanks her, and then they have sex, and then he proceeds to put on his pants and walk out the door, knowing that that's something that she was not okay with. And then he leaves. And later on in the night, Anastasia is feeling a lot of emotions. She's confused, she's upset about what happened, but she doesn't want to tell him that because she knows that he will be upset about the fact that she didn't like it because he liked it. Christian Grey gets pissed at her for being upset about him doing something that she didn't want him to do. He gaslights her into believing that it's her fault. It's her fault. She should have used her safe word. She should have, you know, this, that, and the other thing. But she is so new and innocent to this world of BDSM that she is more focused on wanting to please him. He is so controlling and so just emotionally all over the place that she feels like she has to do what he wants her to do or what she thinks he wants her to do so that she can avoid him getting upset at her. Christian Grey is a manipulative narcissist. He is a nasty man, and not in the good way that I normally like. This is not a safe representation of BDSM. This is not a good representation of BDSM. This is harmful and dangerous. The only real POC character in this book that is of any consequence is Jose, and within the first couple of chapters, he attempts to essay her. That's not great representation. And even excusing that, the story itself, there is no plot. There is no plot. What we get of the story, though, is very repetitive. Anastasia bites her lip. Christian tells her not to bite that lip. She blushes, she flushes, she stumbles, she bumbles. Christian Grey says, "What are you doing to me, Anastasia? This is a first for me, Anastasia." You know, all of this just repetitive crap. We're constantly in Anastasia's head where she's talking about how she's not comfortable with this. She wants more from Christian, but she resolves not to ask for more, but then she pushes his boundaries, but then she draws back. It's like this continuous cycle of bullshit. It's not good. It's not good. It's harmful. It's disgusting. It's repetitive. The writing's not even good. Anastasia continuously, whenever she's met with something surprising or something, she says, "Oh my, oh my, oh my," over and over and over again. She has two different inner monologues. She has her subconscious, which is consistently calling her a hoe without the E for some reason. We don't get the E, but we get the H-O. It's constantly calling her a hoe. And she has her inner goddess, who is this sex-obsessed maniac. And I am sick of both of them. Here's a line that's just weird. It's at the beginning of chapter 15, page 250. "Hi," he says, and his face lights up with his radiant smile. "I take a moment to admire the pretty." You take a moment to admire the pretty what? Nothing. The pretty. She takes a moment to admire the pretty. Lines like that, they're just fucking weird. I don't know. Anastasia to me seems like a virginal princess. She's so innocent that it's almost unbelievable. She's 21 years old, never had an orgasm, doesn't even know what an orgasm is, and she constantly refers to her vagina as down there. "Oh, he went down there. He touched me down there." Like she's some child. Like, she's a child. And it just makes all of the manipulation that Christian Grey is doing even more gross because Anastasia is so childlike and innocent and pure, you know? I mean, I've got 140 pages left. I'm hoping to finish it today. I still want to finish it just because I want to be done with it, and I've gotten it this far in the book already. I mean, we might as well just knock it out, right? I thought this was gonna be fun, but I'm not having any fun. I said that I would finish it, and I'm not going to. DNFing it at page 395. It's been about 20 minutes since my last clip, and I read a couple more pages, and I've decided that I'm done with it. My Goodreads review is long, but if you're interested in that, you can check out my Goodreads. It's always linked below. But I'm done with this book. This book is a harmful piece of shit, and I don't want to read it anymore. I want to go back to my romances that give me butterflies and depict consent in a super amazing way, and even have BDSM aspects in them where it's not abuse and control and manipulation. Sorry, I'm out here with my dog. Mambo's not pleased either. If you want good BDSM representation, check out Praise by Sarah Kate. Also check out Contradictions, which is a Hermione fanfiction. That one is fantastic. I would be interested to explore more in the BDSM kind of subgenre, but not with 50 Shades of Grey. I'm giving it 1 star. And I did rate it on Goodreads, which I don't normally rate my DNFs, but I made it to 395 pages of this piece of shit, and I deserve some compensation. So, E.L. James, if you want to send me a cookie or something, you go, girl. Send me a cookie. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a fan-fucking-tastic day, and I will see you next time.